Well, there's no avoiding it. We all know what the big story is today, so we might as well dive right back in. TikTok is back, baby. TikTok, thank God. I was terrified I wouldn't be able to watch the Costco guys do their review of the new double chunk chocolate cookie. I'm just kidding, of course, that's not the big story. Let's get to the big story everyone's talking about. Taylor Swift and Caitlin Clark are friends now. Yeah. Fine. Yeah, that's not it either. The real news today is, of course, something that's very difficult to talk about because it's an outrageous miscarriage of justice that is already causing tension across the globe. London authorities fined Timothée Chalamet 65 pounds for riding a Lime bike to the premiere of A Complete Unknown. How dare you, England? We've already threatened to invade Greenland and Canada. You want to be next? Clearly, this is payback for the last time an American surprised the British on public transportation. So that's it, right? We're done with the news and we can move on now? Oh, right. Donald Trump's now the president of the United States. Oh, yeah. Right. Me. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. Donald Trump held a pre-inauguration rally in Washington on Sunday where he ushered in a new era of American greatness and prosperity, the way so many American presidents have before him, by pointing out that the Village people have gained a few.
You have a little special treat, and I won't tell you, but let's put it this way. It's the people that 30 years ago had a hot song, never hit #1, hit #5. But 30 years later, it hit #1 week after week. And they're here to sing. They're here to sing. For you. And you won't recognize them. They're slightly larger than they used to be, but that's the way life goes.
They're larger than they used to be. I guess they were having so much fun at the YMCA, they forgot it was a gym. Starting to think they were doing other stuff there. Not only did he point out they've gained weight, he also dissed their most popular song. I love how Trump will exaggerate his own accomplishments, but he's to the letter for everyone else. For the intro, just can you say they're here to play their hit song? Okay, but I won't say it was #1. Unless it was really #1. Elections are rigged, but Billboard charts are sacrosanct. But the Village people aren't the only ones who got dissed by Trump this weekend. Trump also managed to burn his own supporters by canceling the outdoor inaugural festivities and moving everything indoors, where the crowds were not allowed.
For the first time in 40 years, the presidential inauguration will be held indoors.
Trump will now take the oath from inside the Capitol Rotunda. So capacity is much smaller. So many guests who expected to attend the event won't be able to see the ceremony in person now.
The National Park Service told us yesterday morning that they have removed all of those jumbotrons that they placed out there.
The vast majority of ticketed guests will not be able to attend the ceremonies in person.
Hundreds of thousands of others learning their tickets are now just souvenirs.
There's a lot of disappointed Trump folks in town, though, Trump supporters who have traveled at great expense to head to Washington, fly from all over the country. Hotels in D.C. extremely expensive this week because of the inauguration, and they are largely shut out of the events.
Hundreds of thousands of Trump supporters left out in the cold.
It feels awful. I understand, but really disappointed.
Limited indoor space preventing most ticket holders from attending, but freezing temperatures not stopping thousands from showing up.
I actually have USB heated socks. I have USB heated thermals.
God, so ironic. When Trump was leaving office, they walked right into the Capitol. Now he's back and they're out of luck. But more importantly, they make USB heated socks now? Not that I'm ever gonna get those. I can't even remember to bring my phone charger. There's no way I'm remembering the sock one. And I'm not gonna be the sucker walking around a party asking, hey, does anyone have a sock charger I could borrow? What else can you do with USB socks? Can you plug them into your laptop and then upload your feet to the cloud? What do you mean you have USB heated thermals? Oh, wait, is that why Rudy Giuliani looked like that? Yowzers, I turned it up way too high. There's smoke coming out of my underwear. So Trump supporters who traveled long distances at great expense were left out in the freezing cold. What about all the VIP seats indoors? Who got those?
The majority of those events remain off limits to the general public, but not off limits perhaps to the influential politicians and tech class billionaires.
It's really remarkable to see these tech CEOs or founders, in the case of Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, standing alongside members of the Trump cabinet.
They got better seats than some members
well,
of the
it's
cabinet,
just remarkable. The CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai, who's there, as well as Bezos, the founder of Amazon, and Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, and Elon Musk from X.
That's right. MAGA supporters are left out in the cold while Trump gave toasty indoor VIP seats to the wealthy tech oligarchs, which brings us to a segment called Do I Really Have to Explain the Metaphor Here? Guys, do I really have to explain the metaphor here? Look, that I get it's my job to glean insights about the news through jokes, but sometimes it's just too obvious. I think you guys can handle this one yourselves. Most of the next 4 years is going to be me showing clips and then going. Trump supporters are outside freezing while Trump himself is inside cozying up to wealthy tech oligarchs. I'm just going to sit here for a second while you think about the metaphor. Oh, that sound mean. Time's up. It also means my USB underwear is done cooking. Now my testicles are nice and toasty for the second half of a closer look. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
This has been Do I Really Have to Explain the Metaphor?
And it was even weirder to see Democrats who correctly called Trump an existential threat to democracy palling around with him.
Trump right now is at the Blair House. He is getting ready to go over to St. John's Church, and then he'll be going and having coffee and tea at the White House with President Biden before sharing a limo ride with him here to the Capitol.
There now, President-elect Donald Trump, along with President Biden, entering into the motorcade together.
Man, next time you're in a Uber pool, just remember, it could be so much worse. You could be sharing a ride with these. I mean, what do they even talk about? Of course, what I wish is that Biden asked Trump about his new meme coin that launched this week and reportedly has already made Trump tens of billions of dollars, because here, how I think that conversation would go. So, tell me about this meme coin. Like, how does something like that even work? I have no idea. But I do wonder if at least one topic came up. Biden issued a flurry of pardons today for people who've been targeted for revenge by Trump and his advisors, and Trump was not happy.
I think this is going to be, in some ways, a bit of an awkward moment for these two who obviously shared such tough words about one another. In effect, Joe Biden describing Donald Trump as an existential threat to the country, and only moments ago, the incoming president of the United States, Donald Trump, texted my colleague Kristen Welker saying of the pardons, the preemptive pardons that Joe Biden announced this morning, Donald Trump said they were disgraceful. So he called the guy he's replacing disgraceful only moments ago, and now the two will be sharing a conversation, perhaps some tea and coffee as well.
All right, first of all, it's so funny just to imagine Trump sitting down for tea with anyone. I would bet the man has never seen a cup of tea in his life. Excuse me, waiter, there's a wet bag of grass in my water. This is why the warm embrace of Trump by Democrats, and especially Joe Biden, has all been so preposterous. You're not going to get anything out of it. Like, what was Biden hoping for when he welcomed Trump back to the White House this morning by saying this? Joe Biden's treating Donald Trump like an 18-year-old back from his first semester at college. Hey, Scout, welcome back. We got your bed all set up. Don't mind the treadmill. We turn your room into an at-home gym. I'm staying fit now that your kids are out of the house. Your mom and I can finally get some alone time, if you know what I mean. Don't make that face. Where do you think you came from, champ? There was also an awkward moment when Kamala Harris and J.D. Vance made their way to their own limo, and for some reason, Vance thought he could get in on the same side as Harris. JD, I know you don't care for the woman, but please don't subject her to the indignity of a scooch. It's a motorcade to a presidential inauguration, not a minivan on the way to soccer practice. But eventually they all made their way to the Capitol Rotunda, and thank God, so we could hear Donald Trump deliver his inaugural address, where he started out with this bizarre promise.
We will not forget our country. We will not forget our Constitution. And we will not forget our God.
When did we ever forget God? You know, the last guy didn't. They went to high school together. Oh, yeah, God, a real prankster. Took a guy's rib and made him a girlfriend out of it. No joke. Also, I hate to point this out, but according to multiple reports, as he was sworn in as the 47th president of the United States, Trump did not place his hand on the Bible. Yo, you forget someone, bro? And then Trump got into the substance of his speech, an unsettling, low-energy mix of ominous fascism and weird that no one except Donald Trump and his minions even care about.
We will drill, baby, drill. By invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks. We will be a rich nation again, and it is that liquid gold under our feet that will help to do it. We will tariff and tax foreign countries to enrich our citizens. For this purpose, we are establishing the External Revenue Service, and we will pursue our manifest destiny into the stars, launching American astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the planet Mars. A short time from now, we are going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders. And above all, China is operating the Panama Canal, and we didn't give it to China, we gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
All right. But if you do take it back, don't do anything dumb like renaming it the America Canal, because that up the palindrome. A man up playing a Canal America is just a strangely worded sentence. In one speech, he managed to lay out a chilling vision of an authoritarian regime that will invoke an 18th century law to conduct mass deportations, accelerate climate change, and criminalize trans people, while also claiming he'll change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which he cannot do. Like, everyone else in the world is still going to call it the Gulf of Mexico. They have maps, too. You can't just declare that the Mediterranean Sea is now called Lake Trump. No one in Italy is going to say, let's go out to the beach. We'll take a dip in a Lake of Trumpa. It's not going to happen. Also, I don't think they talk like that. Sal. Also, real quick, how are we supposed to reconcile these two statements?
We will measure our success not only by the battles we win, but also by the wars that we end, and perhaps most importantly, the wars we never get into. My proudest legacy will be that of a peacemaker and unifier. That's what I want to be, a peacemaker and a unifier. China is operating the Panama Canal, and we didn't give it to China, we gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
So we're going to end all wars and also invade Panama? I love that he campaigns say he's going to take on major world powers like Russia and China, and then he wins, delays the TikTok ban to please China, and threatens military action against tiny countries like Denmark and Panama. It's easy to make America win again when you're only scheduling cupcakes. This is like if Alabama scheduled a game against the Savannah College of Art and Design. We got the Faroe Islands next week, should be a real barn burner. Also, why does he keep saying this?
We will be a rich nation again, and it is that liquid gold under our feet that will help to do it.
You know your energy policy is behind the times when you're calling it liquid gold. Are you a president or a 19th century prospector? There's liquid gold in them there hills. All I gotta do now is invent the automobile. But of all the goofy Trump talked about in his speech, I have to make sure I touch on this.
Instead of taxing our citizens to enrich other countries, we will tariff and tax foreign countries to enrich our citizens. For this purpose, we are establishing the External Revenue Service to collect all tariffs, duties, and revenues.
Does Donald Trump genuinely think you can unilaterally impose a tax on a foreign country and the people in that country will just willingly pay that tax? That's not how it works. You can't just say, hey, Sweden, America's taxing your meatballs and pickled fish now. And Swedish people just go, shmorgity, borgity, borgity, you know. In this example, the person paying the tax is the Swedish chef. Look, we gotta get through the next 4 years somehow. But I will admit, there was one thing that really resonated with me personally, and it was this.
After years and years of illegal and unconstitutional federal efforts to restrict free expression, I will also sign an executive order to immediately stop all government censorship and bring back free speech to America. Never again will the immense power of the state be weaponized to persecute political opponents.
Because I'll admit, I was worried about this show for a hot second, but now, knowing that you're a man of your word, full steam ahead. Trump's inauguration was both ominous and weird, and the visuals, more than the words, made it clear what his priorities will be. He's going to put the interests of wealthy oligarchs before Americans. Instead of cozying up to that, Democrats should be digging in to oppose it, because this isn't going to be like Trump's first term. It's going to be worse. Trump's threats, much like the Village People, are
slightly larger than they used to be.
This has been a closer look.